Here's Ursula Reutin from Gee and Ursula.
Good morning.
We now have two very familiar Democratic names saying that President Biden should go.
Well, they're saying it in different ways. So, first of all, 9th District Congressman Adam Smith is the first from Washington's delegation to make the case for Biden to drop out. And he was on CNN, and he says this goes beyond President Biden's disastrous performance during the debate.
I know in my heart and my soul and my brain that we can do better, and I know what the stakes are, all right? And you've seen it. Even after the debate, he didn't come out and show that he could deliver the message. They didn't address the health care issues. So I just passionately believe that we can pick a better candidate.
And Smith thinks that better candidate would be Vice President Kamala Harris. He says she could be the one to get the Democrats over the finish line in November.
I think we need a different choice if we're going to be able to beat Donald Trump. And that's what matters. It's not about Joe Biden. It's not about individuals. It's about making sure we move this country in the right direction going forward.
Now, Senator Patty Murray came out, and she did not say she wants him to drop out, but she said he needs to be much more forceful and much more energetic to prove to voters that he is up to the job. And then there was Pramila Jayapal, who is basically blaming the media for piling on to President Biden over his mental state or, anyway, she says we need to focus on Trump, not on President Biden.
Yeah, I think she's right. The idea that this has now basically made us forget about some of the things that Trump said during the debate is what's really hurting here. I'm really surprised that Democrats are in doubt as to what to do. The Constitution has a plan for that. If a candidate is incapacitated, there's a vice president. You have to trust your vice presidential candidate. The idea that they would turn this into an open convention is thrilling to me as a reporter. I just think it's crazy as a party. I don't understand why.
So you think that President Biden should stick it out, and if something should happen?
See what happens. What happens if he becomes incapacitated? His vice president becomes president and appoints a new one. The country's been through that before. We survived. That's the way the system is set up. You're voting for an approach to government here, probably more than in most elections, right? And if you like the no drama approach to government, you go with Biden. If you like the drama approach to government and you want to blow things up and rebuild them, I mean, I don't think Trump's going to eliminate health care, but he doesn't have a plan for paying for it as far as I can see. And I don't know how you, for example, fulfill this promise to provide Social Security and Medicare for everybody unless you have a source of revenue, which he refuses to acknowledge.
See, if the Democrats were to take your approach, I think that they would have a better shot. But right now, it is a defiant President Biden who has convinced himself, but has not convinced a lot of people that he's up for the job. And his interview on Friday did not help matters.
No.
And now he was on MSNBC yesterday blaming the elites within the Democratic Party.
Which is interesting because one of the slaps at him is that, the Democratic elites, they don't support him anymore.
But didn't he have a fundraiser right after that and ask the Democratic elites?
It's the small dollar contributions, Ursula, that he's talking about. The small dollar contributions.
I mean, here's why I think that right now I am in the camp of he should say, look, it's been a great run.
Yeah.
It's time. And maybe it's because I have just gone through this with my own parents, my own elderly parents, where you see when they get to a certain point, they have great days and they have not so great days.
Yes.
And there's no shame in that.
It's like trying to take Dad's driver's license.
It is exactly what it is. And he's becoming more and more defiant. But there are some facts. A neurologist who is a Parkinson's expert visited the White House 8 times in the last 8 months.
Yes.
That doesn't help matters.
No, as Corinne said, that's just it's just a routine thing.
But I think they really, really need to make a decision right now. And if it is he's going to stay in the race, then they need to hit that messaging like, hey, if something happens to me, we've got someone who and
I think the onus is on the voters. We can't. You're not going to tell the party what to do. They have no idea what to do, frankly. The voters have to decide, what am I trying to get out of this election, right? This is not a family situation. You can't replace your dad. You can't replace a president. We've done it before. We've done it on an emergency basis before, and things have survived. The idea is which track do you want the government to take? And there's a fork in the road, and the Democrats going to take it one way, whoever's running the party, and the Republicans going to take it the other way, whoever's running the party. And that's what the choice is in November.
I agree. Ultimately, that is the choice. But what do you do right now?
I just wait and see what happens. I'm only in the news business. I'm not running for anything.